Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
All right, listen to this. A New Jersey police officer was fired after 2 decades of service over a Facebook post referring to Black Lives Matter as terrorists. And her colleague is being suspended and demoted for liking that post. Both are appealing those decisions. And joining me live with their side of the story, former Hopewell Township police officer Sarah Irwin, Sergeant Mandy Gray, and their attorney Frank Crivelli. Good morning to you all. So, Sarah, I want to start by reading this Facebook post that led to your termination. You wrote this in June of last year, and you say, "Last night, as I left for work, I had my 2 kids crying for me not to go to work. I don't think I've ever felt the way I did last night, and that I watched people I know and others I care about going into harm's way. I love my police family like my own. So when you share posts and things on Facebook, I'd really appreciate if you'd think before doing so. I've seen so many Black Lives Matter hashtags in these posts. Just to let you know, they are terrorists. They hate me. They hate my uniform. They don't care if I die." So explain to us what led you to write that post. And do you have any regrets in using that language?
So when everything was happening, there's a lot of turmoil, riots, and everything going on. I had friends, family, tons of people reaching out, text messages, phone calls, reaching out through Messenger, checking on me and making sure everything is okay because they were seeing so many things in the news. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was easiest to put what I was feeling and get a message out there that I was home, I was safe, and it was a really emotional time. It really was. My children were crying when I left, and they were in my heart. And, I was worried about other officers that I know in other cities, an acquaintance in Washington, D.C. Like, I'm hearing things, I'm getting alerts on my phone from, news sources. And it was just a really, really difficult couple days.
Yeah, well, you wrote that post last summer. So that was when there were protests that were taking place, Black Lives Matter protests taking place across the country. And I understand that the post that you wrote sparked protests in your own town and a petition calling for the police department to be disbanded. And then the police department that you worked for said that you broke their social media and conduct policy by calling Black Lives Matter supporters terrorists. So, respond to that. How did you feel when you found out that you got fired?
I don't know really how to sum that up. I've never been in trouble in my entire career. Pretty much a rule follower. I was devastated. I'm still devastated. It is just hard to put into words. Yeah. This punishment for something that's a policy violation is it's just really, it's difficult. It's difficult for, my former coworkers. It's difficult for friends and family. It's difficult for the community. Once they found out, they hadn't known.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Sergeant Gray, you were suspended and demoted for liking the post, putting a heart next to it. So explain why you did show support for the post, and what's your reaction to your punishment?
The reason why I showed my support was Sarah is one of my officers. We had a very emotional conversation that night at work. I had to send one of my officers into a neighboring city that was having riots, and it was just a very emotional night. I knew where she was coming from because of the conversation we had earlier in the evening when she made that post, and I hearted on it in support and showing her my love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Frank, you're there.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there, y'all. What it is when these they're really revealing a lot in this interview. So what it is when Black people take to the streets because of a murder done by police, they don't like the fact that they are being protested. So then you heard what she said. She turned around and called Black Lives Matter terrorists. Trust me, the police departments in America are the biggest terrorists on the street. Okay, nothing Black Lives Matter have done can trump what you have done for hundreds of years. And that's a fact. So this is a Fox News story, May 5th, 2021. New Jersey police officer said she was fired over Facebook posts calling Black Lives Matter protesters terrorists. So they resent the fact that the protests in the streets are over the fact that the cops killed someone. And that right there also shows they don't give a damn about the victims at all. They don't care. They care only about themselves. And that's also historic. A New Jersey police officer told Fox and Friends First Wednesday that she was devastated after she was fired over a Facebook post where she called Black Lives Matter protesters terrorists. Now, I don't care for Black Lives Matter, but what I do know is they have not committed one act of terrorism in America. Former Hopewell Township police officer Sarah Irwin explained what prompted her to write the post that she said led to losing her job. And what she said in the video is a load of BS. People go through problems every day. Kids cry for their parents in America every day. We get past that stuff and still do what we have to do. No, she's full of crap. That, I was going through and my kids were crying for me. And okay. And that justifies what? Oh, it was emotional. Oh, it was emotional. Okay, so you're the only person on the planet that went through something emotional? These people are full of crap. They'll make up any excuse. The second officer, Mandy Gray, who appeared with Irwin on the show, was suspended and demoted for liking the post that she put out on Facebook. All right, Sarah Irwin put out there. So both Irwin and Gray each have 20 years of experience, according to their attorney. And he argued their treatment was unjust and excessively harsh. Yeah, well, so was George Floyd. Okay, so was George Floyd. I don't know what they have gone through that was excessively harsh. It's not like they lost their peace license. Both of them can go over one town and get another job. And it's that simple. Gray was the first female officer hired by Hopewell Township and became the first female sergeant when she was promoted in 2019. This is according to NewJersey.com, noting that she will lose her rank in the demotion. Irwin noted Wednesday that she wrote the Facebook post during a lot of turmoil. She's just making up excuses, y'all. Who don't go through turmoil in their life? You don't go out on the internet and call people terrorists because you're going through some turmoil. We go through turmoil on the regular. Irwin reportedly wrote the post the night I left. My kids were crying. Oh, yeah, whatever. Maybe if you were more sympathetic towards us, I can show sympathy towards you, but we know it's never going to be that way. So on Wednesday, she explained I had friends, family, and tons of people reaching out, text messages about her being fired. Okay. She added she was worried about other officers that she knew. Why? They didn't get fired. You got fired. So, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't nothing but a boatload of excuses that's supposed to be acceptable. Okay. We all go through hurt and pain in life. You don't run out to the internet calling calling a group terrorist, and you have zero evidence of what's the terrorism. They held up signs and marched in the street. Is that the terrorism? Is that it? No, we are in the day and age of revelation, y'all. That's why so many things are being revealed now. Things that were buried is now coming up to the surface, and we're all seeing it for what it is. Policing is exactly what it looks like. Terrorism. They come to terrorize and kill. I don't even know why y'all got protect and serve written on all of your police vehicles. You don't do that. You don't do that. Why are you lying on your police vehicles about what you do? Take that mess off. Put terrorize and kill on there in its place. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.